What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Kendra J, the melanated motivator. I just was thinking to myself, like, what is it that we need? What is it that we lack? And what is it that we can do to change that? And I realized that I often find myself preaching all of the time about how we as women, and y'all too fellas, but right now I'm talking about the women, how we as women need to celebrate ourselves way more often than we do. And in realizing that, it dawned on me like, damn, you're not practicing what you preach. And that's a problem. We don't celebrate ourselves enough, ladies. We don't. Why do we constantly battle with being good enough? And I'm just solely speaking from my personal experiences with this. And I feel like we have to learn to be satisfied. And maybe, just maybe, the reason why we strive to be overly perfectionist can be figured out. I hate that we don't give ourselves enough credit. At least I know I don't. I know I don't give myself enough credit. I know that I'm one of those women who take care of everyone else but me. And I was talking to my godmom, and she was like, it's time. She was like, all of the years I've known you, since I was 11, all of the years that she said she's known me, she's never experienced me just doing for me. No one else, just me. Especially with all of the world on our shoulders to carry and be cared for. I think it was Malcolm X who said the most disrespected woman in the world is the black woman. The woman who is leaned on and expected to be strong, independent, and take care of everything, lacks that same energy for herself. The time is now to where we have to break these programs that we've been induced upon and encourage better mindsets within ourselves and within each other. It's time to get our sisterships back in order. That's going to be the first start, getting our sisterships back in order. And don't get me wrong, some people are going to be threatened by your resolve, but don't stifle your creativity. Don't stifle the fact that you are amazing. You can do all things. Put your mind to it. Believe. Get out of the quicksand and stop sinking. Simple and plain. Rise above. And for those who don't understand and can't, not necessarily relate, but appreciate and motivate you to think about you and put you first, fuck them. We go through a lot. Me personally, man, book coming soon. Let's talk a little bit about Pcos and TTC, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. For those of you who don't know, it's linked to a lot of women, but specifically, I've seen a great rise of it in melanated women like myself. And TTC is the trying to conceive component for those of us who have struggled to have successful pregnancies or even get pregnant at all, and are dealing with these emotional barriers that are blocking some natural things that we all struggle with or have struggled with. And I just want to say, y'all, I'm struggling. I am. I'm going to be very transparent here. And lately, that weight of struggle has become heavier. And sometimes a person will sit and account for all of the things that you've listed to accomplish, and you find yourself struggling at a halt with the lack of progress, the lack of change, the urgency to fulfill those goals. It eats at you. It gets away from you, especially for us women who are in our 30s now, who have been trying to accomplish certain things for all of our 20s and just been stuck. More times than not, I find myself silently suffering through my own thoughts, through my own expectations, through my own pain, and I mean ultimately through my own eyes. It's our perception as well. And the saying of you are your own biggest critic is so true, because you look at what your family expects upon you to do, but then you get ridiculed by yourself as well. That shit gotta stop. Out of all the things I have succeeded in my life with my goals, the trying to conceive component has been the utmost hardest and most depressive state I have ever experienced. And people around you don't really know what's going on, but it's hard to talk to people about things, especially me being, I'll use myself for an example. I'm going to get personal with y'all. I have been married to my husband for umpteen years since I was 20, and I just turned 31, all praises, and it has been a battle, an uphill battle with dealing with all of these things, and the expectation is, oh well, first come marriage, then comes the baby in the carriage. You know how the old saying go. As a kid, you dream up all the things that happen, and most women, think about getting married and having children, and men usually think about getting married and providing for their families. And when you get to a point where you've tried everything, it gets hard. The struggle is real. I honestly wasn't sure if the emotional or the physical or even mental experiences of it all outweigh which the most. For me, I think the mental and emotional part, and then the physical is a better scale to outline things for me. Definitely emotionally it's hard You get to a point where you don't even want to continue to try to pursue reaching certain goals. And then the mental part, obviously, it's hard to stay positive sometimes. And, you know, I preach positivity all day, all long. But when it's personal and it's ongoing, sometimes I get into a rut. Naturally so. I ruffle with the flesh of it all. And it's hard. The mental ability to still smile and be happy through it all is rough. It's rough. Through the constant weight fluctuation, mainly gains. Even though I am down officially from 340 to 288, I haven't gotten back on the scale yet this week, but that's where I was. So that's, a big positive. It's just been a slow process, and I know consistency is key. So weight gain, lack of weight loss, unwanted hair in the wrong places, ladies, like on your face, headaches, pelvic pain, vaginal pain, back pain, abdominal pain, and etc. I know. I'm talking about mental, but everything I just said was physical. But it's the mental toll that it takes. The mental capacity to stay strong and be able to function through depression, anxiety, stress, and delusions of self-inflicted doubt, shame, hurt, and embarrassment is uncanny. It often has become unbearable at times, to where you wrestle with your identity and what it is that you're willing to sacrifice and give up, and what it is that you aren't. It's hard. It's another level of pain that has been, ultimately I'm learning, has been taught to endure. But we have to know that there is a difference between mental health and mental illnesses. There's one, and then there is the other. They're not technically not synonymous, but they definitely are not equally the same. It's funny because people love to talk about meditating, yoga, aligning your chakras, and self-care, daily routines. But I noticed that people get uncomfortable talking about blackouts, substance dependencies, suicidal thoughts, manic episodes. And that's a problem. We always want to stay on the surface. The surface shit is minuscule to what you're really going through internally, the things that people don't know, the things that you suffer alone. That shit is what we need to start talking about. We need to unmask the delusions, the facade. Cut that shit all together. Because it's no benefit. To who? Who benefits? You're still suffering with no outlet. No positive, healthy outlet. I just want to say a friendly reminder that anxiety attacks aren't always just hyperventilating and rocking back and forth or searching for a fresh air to breathe in, which are all things I've experienced. They are also random moments of irritability, obsessive behaviors. Sometimes they come out as nitpicking, hypersensitivity, pacing, silence, zoning out. And it's important to look for these signs not only within yourself, but your loved ones too. Because we all suffering in some shape, form, or fashion in silence, no matter what it is. Some people can't relate to PCOS or TTC, but there's something else that you can put in place of those terms to relate to what I'm talking about. Whether it be work, your kids, your spouse, your identity, your sexuality, the politics of the world. We all need healing. These are all things I've struggled with on my journey. My want and need to heal and come through all of this is imperative. And I am so grateful to know that even though it's solely on me, like completely dependent on me to make these changes and commit to what it is I need to heal, I know that I'm not alone. And I just want to tell you all that you're not alone either. You're not alone either. I've decided that I will prevail. Period. You will prevail. Decide that for yourself now. And in this moment, know that this is just a comma in your journey. This is not the final period. It's just a comma. Comma, semicolon, whatever you want to call it. It's not the final exclamation point, okay? It is not yet set in stone. When it gets too hard and you find yourself struggling, I want you to know that it's okay. No one said you couldn't start again. You can. And if someone did say you couldn't start over, fuck them. We got this. You don't need that type of energy in your space, okay? Depression, anxiety, panic attacks are not sign of weakness. What they are signs of trying to remain strong for far too long. For far too long. After a while, you start to realize that this ain't what I want to keep going through. This ain't what I need. This isn't beneficial to me at all. And you just stop. You stop and you get yourself together. You put in the work to do what's needed to be better. Better for you. No one else. For you. Take your time with you. Be gentle. Be kind. Be compassionate. And be understanding. You deserve that. For me, I'm taking it. And I'm not turning back. I'm taking that opportunity to embrace where I am so I can appreciate where I'm going. Some people ask, well, why do we have to suffer through the storm? Because God is in control. He's in the midst of all the chaos because he's the only one that can handle it. We are given this divine power to be able to get through. There's nothing that's put on us that we cannot bear. You got this. Polycystic ovarian syndrome and or endometriosis are two terms that a lot of women, again, specifically I've noticed more black women than any other race, seem to be silently suffering through this pain. And I'm here to say to you, you are not alone, sis. Black or not, you are not alone. There is so much power in patience. I'm working on maintaining my patience. I have this control syndrome to where I feel like if I don't have some sort of power to not necessarily predict, but be in the midst of every decision and everything that happens in my life, then I feel defeated. Don't do it, sis. Have patience, believe, and keep putting in the work. It is hard going through this journey. Even through, you have, some people have their significant other or not, for some. But for some of us, we still feel like it's not enough, but it is. Take the support and accountability that you can get and use that to help you prevail. Use it to help you get the strength that you need to push through. It sucks because sometimes you feel like you can't really, tell certain people certain things, or like you can't, express yourself because people don't understand. And then you have the opposite, to where the same people who you may want to confide in, you fear confiding in them because they may be the very ones preying on your downfall. And for that, you have to stand alone. Don't be afraid to be alone on this journey and through your process. Because ultimately, your goals are personal, love. This journey is personal. I've learned that the universe isolates you so that you can find your soul's purpose. It may seem like you've lost friendships and relationships, but finding your path, your passion, and your purpose in life is worth the move. For where your soul is, there you will find your treasure. It's within you. Look at it this way. If energy is neither created nor destroyed, everything you will ever want is already here, right? It is simply a matter of choosing the thoughts which will put you into harmonious vibrations with what you desire. In layman's terms, believe it, seek it, speak it, own it. It is yours. I know, easier said than done, but we have to practice these techniques to perfect them. Moving forward, I want us all to manifest everything and resist your fears. Set your boundaries. You will start taking care of yourself first. That's the first place you will start. And then you will allow others to be a part of your journey only if they're able to support you in a positive manner, because you don't need no negativity around you. But what you won't do is you won't allow others to guilt you or manipulate you into doing things you're not comfortable with or that doesn't benefit you. You will stand up for yourself and voice your opinions and thoughts with confidence. You will not hold yourself responsible for the things beyond your control. You will communicate openly and when you need to. Assertively. That is one of the biggest things I cannot stress enough. Being assertive does not mean that you're an angry woman and that you're aggressive. It just means that you meant what you said and you said what you meant. I said what I said, period. And ultimately, you will not let your happiness depend on other people. Let's stop doing that. Let's stop doing that. Here's 12 things to always remember. Number 1, the past can't be changed. Number 2, opinions don't define your reality. Number 3, everyone's journey is different. Number 4, judgments are not about you. Number 5, overthinking will lead to sadness. Number 6, happiness is found within, always. Number 7, your thoughts affect your mood. If your mind is always in a state of negativity, your mood will not be positive. Number 8, smiles are contagious, so give them away. Kindness is free. That's number 9. Number 10, it's okay to let go and move on. And being done too. Number 11, what goes around comes around. Come on now, we all familiar with that. And number 12, things always get better with time. They do. Everything you want is on the other side of your sacrifice and hard work. But how willing are you to get it? I want y'all to start y'all day right by waking up on time, meditating, and putting yourself in a positive mindset. This will help you to get past and get through the things that you are challenged with and facing every day. It's a battle every day, I get it. But if we continue to put ourselves in a more positive state, I know, easier said than done, but practice makes perfect is what they say, right? So let's practice and let's perfect that so that we won't have to be so invested in what other people think and what other people want us to be, and we can just be content with ourselves. Most importantly, remember, be in the now, because everything else is last week's problem. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, bye.